Did you ever watch when The Onion had a fake reality TV show called Sex House?
I kind of
Welcome to Sex House. So basically, if you haven't watched this, I'm going to spoil it, but trust me, it's not going to ruin it. Go watch it. It's still on the internet. Basically, it's a parody of Big Brother. So they have like 10 people locked in a house, and the producers are increasingly trying to get them to have sex. But like when the rooms gets moldy, they don't have food. Like it's just degenerating really bad. And like then they're forgotten.
That's New York.
Wait, hold on. Then they're forgotten about, and they're just like inbreed. It's just a complete. They're yellow. They haven't seen sunlight in 6 months, and they're like, "Are we still filming?" They break. Here's the best part. This is why it's like New York. They pull down finally the boarded up windows.
Mm-hmm.
The sunlight streams in on their faces. They're looking outside for the first time in however many months, and then they go, "Let's put it back up." And they put the boards back up. That's being a New Yorker today.
That is the best summation of New York that I've ever heard in my life.
Let's put the boards back up.
Was that bit based on New York?
No, this was like 10, 15 years ago.
Oh my God. Dude, Big J had to go get vitamin D shots. I remember one year because he was a common affliction in New York City and a lot of urban environments is a severe vitamin D deficiency.
You for sunlight.
Yeah.
Big J just never left his house?
It's New York. Like, so what if you left your house? You're probably not going to be out there long. And he,
how would you know you're vitamin D deficient?
He got checked out. He was like worried about something. By the way, this is not related to COVID in any way. He went and got shots like an idiot. And I remember at the time I got 2 shots, okay, from Pfizer. I wish that I did not.
Wow.
But I've always had good luck with like chemicals in my body. So I was like, yeah, I gotta fly. I didn't think about it too hard. I wish I didn't at all.
Oh, wow.
But the girl I was dating at the time, who happened to be like native and Mexican, like she literally can't have any vaccinations. She's one of the people that's allergic, which does exist and they acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a small percentage and it's safe, but she just can't have it. So she can't work. Right. And so I'm talking about it in New York. I'm talking to Jay and what was that, Ryan Long maybe? But I remember this time Jay's like, just get it. And my girl's brother, who's cool as shit, I like him a lot. And they were all like, just get it because I want to get back to my life. No, I don't want to do a lot of people, you don't need to tell them not to do research. They already weren't going to do any research. So when they start saying don't do research, that's for me and you.
Yeah.
People that like to read, but then they locked everybody down and you don't got nothing else to do but look into shit.
Right.
And you don't even have to read it. You could watch it. But I remember just his like, just get it. I'm like, dude, do you understand? Like, I'm not against it. I got it. No, he didn't understand. He probably goes and gets it. Probably going to go get some Ozempic. Like New York's filled with people that trust the big pharma implicitly.
I'm going to push back a little bit. I don't think this is them trusting big pharma. I think this is them trusting the television. So if Pfizer just had ads and it's like Big J, you should get this, he'd be like, yeah, whatever. But if it's a cacophony of voices.
No, he trusts pharmaceutical solutions to every problem. A lot of people do. I'm not trying to think out Big J. A lot of people in New York, I've met 3 people. I'm telling you, 3 fucking people who told me they were the first kid ever prescribed Prozac in America. Any of them could be telling the truth.
No, but do you know what's even funnier?
Yes, they all look like Woody Allen, even the girl.
Do you know what's even funnier? You know that when they sat them down, they're like, I know I should get this. You'll be the first kid. All right. I want to be first. I'm me. Dude, you're special.
It's New York. People that grew up there. Did you grow up there or no?
Yeah.
So did you know these people that grew up there that like they start going to therapy at age 5 because their parents suck and they don't have a religion or something, so they just put them in therapy instead of paying attention to them?
I didn't. Okay, I'm an immigrant, so I didn't have like these bougie friends like that because that's like a rich kid thing.
Did you write in TV?
Did I what?
You never wrote in TV or knew in writing? You never met these people?
No.
Dude, I have met so many people where I thought I was middle class before I got there.
Oh, no, my college was full of these people. That's why I hated it.
Yeah, and they all have been to therapy since they were 4. And the thing is, I didn't go to therapy probably till I was 38.
Okay. Did it help you a lot?
Tremendously.
Yeah, because you used to be in a cult, so that's gonna a lot to deprogram.
Well, I had gone through a psychotic episode because I had so much. I might get a whole thing, but my friend Barry Crimmins was the one who's like, yeah, men don't go till they're like 40 usually. And
I'm not against it. I'm very for it. I helped a lot of people.
I was before that because I would meet these people that have been in therapy their whole life, and I'm like, did you see Live Combat? Why do you?
Right.
Kyle Dunnigan, who's hilarious, dude. I remember this when we were working on Schumer's show. All of them were having their therapy stories, okay? and Kyle's saying his professor or his psychiatrist or whoever would hold a pen because he'd be nodding off, and as he dropped the pen, it would wake him up, like that hypnagogic state thing that young. And I go, dude, if your therapist falls asleep at your therapy, I think you're done.
Yeah, right.
It's like them guys that lift too much, and like you're done.
Right,
dude.
right, yeah.
Like he can't stay awake listening to your problems. That means you
don't have real problems.
I didn't understand what, but he does. All the people do. They're all not confronting them at the therapy. They're all. I don't know that Kyle's lying to his therapist.
Sure.
Girls though, that I've known in New York, all, and they'll tell you they lie to the therapist. I go, why are you wasting your money lying to a therapist? Because they started so early. It's almost like going to confession or something if you were Catholic, and they're like they're not getting, because I went later when I was like middle and I needed it. And the guy, I have to say, was great. This guy from Presbyterian Hospital. Because I checked things, I was going to kill myself, dude. Not. And anyway, I got put on this program there. And the guy, it was very helpful. And I didn't want to, I'm not taking any SSRIs and none of that shit. I've tried Paxil years ago because I had such bad anxiety attacks when I was 20. And doctor like threw Paxil samples at me.
Oh, I got to ask your advice for something then. Well,
okay, so I'm gonna go. So when I went to help me deeply talking, because what the guy would do, well, besides they just listen, right? I was explaining to him, like, you know, I'm kind of ADHD or whatever, and comedy is a thing that really is good for me because I'm so scattered and I can't really stay on topic. That's how I write jokes. When I start to notice like seemingly unrelated things, because and because I'm lazy, like I adapted that way. Okay, so I'm explaining.
I'm laughing because I'm just thinking of your set, and it's so good. Like I'm laughing about like you going off on Jared from Subway.
Well, but the guy goes. I remember he goes, "Wow, it's a really ingenious survival strategy, right?" So you know how somebody might say something negative that's an earworm to you.
Yeah, of course.
So for some reason, him saying that, it like bored into my brain. That's an ingenious survival strategy. Barry Crimmins said something like that to me before. What looks like crazy to some people might be a genius survival strategy, because you don't know what people have to do just to get through their day. You have no idea. And but because I had that in my head over and over, I was like, it's not like, there's a lot of dumb shit I did that I could have just done it the easy way, but I had to do it with my ingenious way.
Yeah, it's your workaround.
And then I suddenly saw a bunch of stupid things I had been doing. Yeah, no, I'm smart, and I like made a Rube Goldberg machine out of a thing I didn't need to many times.
My all-time favorite quote guy, Camus, I'm gonna butcher the quote, but it was something to the effect of, "It's amazing how many people spend so much energy just trying to be normal."
Yeah, dude, I have to say, Camus versus Derrida, that lazy-eyed French
Sartre,
pervert.
you're thinking of Sartre.
Sartre, sorry.
Camus is the best. It's not even a question between the two of them. We had this, but the thing is, I'm just gonna say something to your point. Is I think about this all the time. It's like Roseanne.
Yeah.
If Roseanne Barr wasn't Roseanne Barr, she'd be homeless. Because you imagine her
in a board meeting. Survival strategy.
Yeah, because if her at a board meeting, she's like, "What the? This is stupid. Don't make no sense. Where'd you get those pants from anyway?
I got along with Roseanne.
Am I right?" And everyone's just like, "Shut the fuck up. You're ruining it."
Yeah.
I'm not ruining it. I'm just telling the truth. You're just too stupid to know.
Yeah. Dude, I got along with her immediately.
Of course. She's the best.
Immediately, I got along with her. And you know why I love her too? Is I was at Thanksgiving at her house, I told you, right? And we were talking about, because I really resent the shit out of the idea that Bibi Netanyahu propped up Hamas for 20 years to prevent a two-state solution. In his words, I'm not putting words in his mouth. You know, I gave up on Hamas back in 2006 myself. I've never supported them.
During the Bush years.
Back in the Bush years, I'm like, these guys are no good. This asshole paid because he wanted to have a prison gang versus the other people. But when I said to Roseanne, who's very Zionist, by the way, she goes, "Oh, yeah, he thought it was a strategy." Like, she didn't immediately go, "I never heard of that."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course.
So immediately, with somebody that could just be honest like that, that's like a big deal to me. It's like a big deal when I could talk to somebody and they don't act like, "I never heard of Kim Jong-il and I read a lot." Like,
you've told me a lot of things where I go and I look it up. I'm like, let me double check this. And it's all, I see where you're coming from.
They sound insane.
Right. Because you didn't say like, okay, like with the different types of aliens, you're like, listen, I know this sounds crazy. Look it up. And then I sit there in front of you and I look it up and it's like, okay, this is where he's getting it from.
Yeah. And I now I have to go back and talk to her because she told me at Thanksgiving she was raised Jewish and Mormon, or like Orthodox Jewish and Mormon.
Well, she was in Salt Lake City, so they had to kind of pass.
Yeah, well, guess what? I'll bet you all that stuff. Now, I remember back in the day, she said she was abused and split person, and then
multiple personality disorder, yeah.
And then took it back later or something.
I don't know. She took back. So I was just looking about this the other day on Wikipedia. She's on the cover of People magazine saying, I'm an incest survivor, right? Then later, I think she was with Megyn Kelly, and it was brought up again. And she's like, it was the worst thing I've ever done. I wouldn't have used that word, but I wasn't talking about nothing. And she did have for many years, according to her, multiple personality disorder from childhood trauma, which was later resolved.
So I got to ask her about that. I didn't know at the time when she told me.
So her
this.
second book is called her first book is called My Life as a Woman. And her second, which would be a great title for your autobiography.
It's a great title.
It would.
Yeah, that is a great title.
And the second book was called My Lives, and it's about part of it's about her multiple personality.
So
now,
I thought that was a debunked thing.
What's that?
I thought that was a debunked thing way back when.
That's what I thought too. That's what I heard, that multiple personality is not a thing.
Suppressed memory.
Yeah. Suppressed memory is very different multiple personality.
Right.
But multiple personality, it's like when they talk about, they have different, one of the personalities has better eyesight than the other, or their handwriting changed.
Oh, they can do.
So it's like one can see through walls. I don't know.
So
I'm going to ask her about it.
By
the way, just one more thing.
Yeah.
In terms of like how surreal life is, I get a call from her, but I was at the gym, so I didn't take it. I said I'm at the gym. And I'm like, my life is at a point where I'm not taking Roseanne Barr's call because I'm at the gym. And I'm like, I don't know what planet I'm on anymore.
I know, it's very strange.
Right? It's like,
I had the best time at Thanksgiving. It was like being in the credits in the beginning of the show.
When we
were laughing. She's cracking up. It was fun.
I had Passover at her house.
Yeah.
And she was at the head of the table. And when I got her to crack up, I'm like, I'm in the TV.
Yeah, it was great.
It's literally a theme song, yeah.
And they had all these desserts laid out, right? And her granddaughter, Jake's kid.
Jake's her son, her producer, yeah.
Yeah, and so you have all these desserts at a 4-year-old child's eye level. They look great. And we're sitting at the table, and I look, and the girl's like just taking her finger, going like
Olivia,
this.
Yeah.
And she'd freeze. I go, should she be doing that? I'm like, you just put it right there. I can't even blame the kid. That was one of the funniest things I ever saw.
Folks, I want to talk to you about Lumen, which is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. And on the app, it lets you know.